Hello everybody, this is Eugenio from Genius Coffee Espresso Command. Today I'm going to show you how to maintain your Saeco brew unit, your regular maintenance. This is something that needs to be done once a week. You need to remove the brew unit out of the machine and do what I'm going to show you next. Now, first of all, let's say that now all brew unit needs to be removed. Doesn't matter even other brands. So in this case, in Saeco, there's two style of brew units, the older version and the newer version. So today we're going to concentrate onto the older version, which is the most popular that most people have in their machine. So now let's look at the brew unit first, how it's made. We got a group seal right about up here, and there's a shower filter, which is like a steel disc. Is up there like this disc. You know, when you wash it, you should be running your finger on it to make sure like anything that is lodged into the little holes is actually coming out. Then inspect your brew unit. Like look where there's buildups. As in this case, we see a lot of buildups like in this area here, in this area here, right? The guides where the brew unit moves into, which is right here. These need to be greased up. And this one here in particular, they're actually quite dry. Whoever had it probably maintained it and washed it fairly often. So there's one here, and obviously there's one on the other side. They're pretty much a rail where the brew unit runs onto. Let's see if we can see it. There we are, right there. Yeah, so we're gonna be greasing there. Other part to be greased is the little piston here. It's a little bit difficult, it's tricky. You need to get in. I'm going to show you with a Q-tip and try to get up there. Unfortunately, we only can have access on one side. That's why, you know, it's always good to bring the machine in to a service center so that they can take it apart. Like in our case, we take everything apart, we dip it, we put it into an ultrasonic that cleans every nicks and cracks. And then we put new parts like the group seals and the shower filter. We open up the valve here and stuff, this valve right here as well, and we clean it all out, make sure there's no buildup in there. But that's something a technician would do. At home, what we wanted to concentrate on is clean the guides. So like, right, let's see if you can get the light in there. Here we are, guides there, up here, the piston area, like you want to get underneath the seal tooth, you want to clean there, wash this area here, up there. Very important, this hinge right here, this area here, you want to clean it, keep it always nice and clean, and we're going to grease it right there. Okay, so how do we wash it? So now the manual tells you to wash it under cold water. That is fine, but to my experience, I prefer to do it with hot water because you want to make sure that you're removing all the oils that have built up onto the brew unit. Because if you don't remove the oils with cold water, the oils are gonna become harder. It's gonna be difficult to remove them. Instead, with the hot water, you're gonna be able to wash them off. Obviously, the best thing to do, very simple, is hot water and a brush and some dish soap. That's all you need. So let's try. As you can see, I'm going to let it sit there a second. There we are. Right on the seal, where I put a little bit more of soap. My brush. You want to get everything nice and soft. You see there's a lot of buildup in there. Go right in there. Now be careful when you're cleaning it. I'm going fairly aggressive in there. Now it's okay as going as much as I'm going, but obviously you don't want to bang everything up. Now if the brew moves out of position, it's fine, I'm going to show you at the end how to reposition the brew unit. There we go. So if you did this often enough, like the buildup shouldn't be all that much. Yeah, as you can see, the brew unit is moving. Okay, let's move it up a little bit. Quite a bit of a buildup in this one. Yeah. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper. So looks like this is a brew unit that probably hasn't been maintained in a long time. So make sure this doesn't happen to you. It is a lot of buildup. I think in this case, like the brew unit has been removed, but probably they didn't move the actual mechanics, and they just quickly rinse it. So, which is fine if you quickly rinse it, but as you can see, in the long run, it won't be as fine because you do need to remove all that buildup. There's a major buildup in there. Also, because the brew unit comes grease from the factory, so there's obviously grease from the factory that the coffee is sticking to. There we go. Okay. As you can see, the brew unit actually has moved all the way to the top, and there's like this little tongue sticking out. Now to move that back, now this one here is easy to see because it's made in yellow. Most of them are in black. So if you grab it, like, so this is the front of the brew unit. As you can see, there's the push and the section where you put your fingers in. This here, you push it downwards. And as you push it downwards, you can see that it is moving. Like I'm just pushing down that way. Now, I was pushing on this now. So like it moves. Now we still have some buildup way in there. So let's see if we can wash it off. Again, hot water. Yeah, looking good. Run my finger a little bit in there. Make sure everything is out. I do feel the grease a little bit. So there's quite a bit of grease in there. Now, most likely that's oiled. Yeah. Okay, let's just move. I think at this point we should move this brew unit a little bit just to kind of see, you know, if there's any parts that we missed. Now, two things. First thing is the locking system, which is this here. So in this case, the brew unit is locked. This component here is what locks the brew unit. So if I push onto a little tab inside here, you see this went down there. So once this is down, then this here is easy to move. As you can see, I'm moving it very easily. But if this was up, as the lock position is supposed to be, then this is difficult. So again, unlock, and this is free. It moves. Once that's moving, as I push this way, which way is that way? Is the hand grip is right here, so I'm pushing towards the hand grip. And that makes the unit go up. Hope you can see this part here. You can see the seal. And when I push up, that goes up. When I push this way, the cylinder goes up. So that's how you move it, okay? So I can see there's more buildup right there. Yeah, this is a great example. But it could be that this is a brewing that somebody had that kept putting grease on it. And it just has all the grease built up in there. So let's give it another nice clean. Let's go a little bit heavier here now. Do not put the brew unit in the dishwasher. This is not dishwasher safe. Keep that in mind. This should be washed by hand. Yeah, if you do it once a week, you will not require to do everything that I got to do today. This is a great example if somebody has a brew unit that really had it for a long time. Another things that you should know about this brew unit, how to reset it. I'm going to show you how to know when is the brew unit in the right setting, in the right home position. It's called. The home position. There we are. Let's just make it work like that. Get in there. Okay, so the home position. Here we are. So as you can see, this is a bit dirty. Okay, don't mind the dirt in there. Really, on the yellow, it's very hard to clean everything. So there's a little arrow right there. Okay, that little arrow has to match this little arrow on the black part of it. So by doing the same thing we did before, by pushing this in the right direction, you will see the arrow rotate. There we are. And it stops there. So when it stops there, it means that when you push this, you're now going to hear a click. And that click means that this is locked. So it's locked into place, like we said before, it doesn't move. Now, some brew unit, if they're very old, even when you lock it, it's still going to be a little bit soft, and this might move. I mean, that's a sign that you need to change the brew unit, but it's still operational. So you just have to be careful when you put it inside the machine. So, okay, so now the brew unit is all nice and clean. Now I suggest people to get just some paper towels and just wipe it down to dry it out. Now, I'm gonna take a second, actually, instead of using the paper towel just for speed, I'm gonna use compressed air just to move up. So I'm gonna pause the video and then come back and we're gonna start the greasing process. This is Eugenio from Genius Coffee and Espresso Equipment. We're now gonna go through the parts that need to be greased. So we need to grease the following areas. We need to put grease right on this hinge right here, which the other side as well. Then we got the guides. So right here, this area need to be greased. You don't need to go all the way up because the actual mechanics doesn't go all the way there. Usually it travels for about here and then it goes back that way, this way. So this is the area. And on the opposite side as well. So from here to, as you can see, this way. Usually I would put it right about here so that as the brew unit goes up and down, it catches the grease and brings it down. The other section to grease is the piston right here. So with a Q-tip, you're gonna need to go up top like that. You cannot go underneath it. I mean, you got some leeway, but it's kind of squeezed. If you like to try, try to do it. So the way we're gonna do it, now the grease, you have two options. We have the Saeco grease, which comes into this little tube, 5 grams. And then we have our own grease. Today we're gonna use our own grease. Pretty much the same kind of material. This one is actually from Saeco. They're both food grade grease. They're great for this, for the brew unit. Now, with the use of a Q-tip, we're gonna get some grease. Let's do the guides first. So, for example, I'm gonna go in there and try to get as far as I can. Work it up in there. Kind of like you have to massage it in there. Here we are. Let's do the other side as well. I'm gonna use the other head of the Q-tip. Here we are. And now, right there. Excellent. Okay. Let's do the hinges. This is a little bit particular because like this side here is not really the side that needs to be lubricated because it doesn't go underneath it. So you want to get the edges. Is that what you want to try to get? Got another Q-tip, a little more grease. And I'll show you how to move it in a second so that you can, so that the grease can likely travel around. Okay, so actually before we try to move it, I'll suggest to do this too. So we want to go up there, you know, as much as you can around the area. There we are. Okay, so what we need to do to move these hinges is to press on the piston that we just greased. So if you see, when I press, that turns up and it moves those hinges. Now, if I press on, you push on that piston, this comes up. So I can push it back down. So now I make those hinges work. So if I put my thumb here, my index on the piston, and a finger on the other hand here, I can kind of work it in there. There we are. So maybe find one position, push it in maybe with your fingers, just like that. Move it a little bit more. Just like that. There we are. And that gets air. That's well lubricated. This is important that you do it at least once a month, as every time that you wash the brew unit, you're going to wash some of the grease off. So remember, once you put it in, you want the two arrows to be matching. It's very important. Once the two arrows are matching, you're pushing this down, okay? And you want to lock this here. To lock that, you need to push this, which is already locked actually now. Here we are. And we can verify that by pushing on here and see it doesn't move. And this is how you maintain your brew unit. Thank you for watching.